welcome everyone. It's I'm gonna dance a little bit between the two pillars because I know how it is to sit right there and not see the person here, right? But don't worry, I'm quite loud, so you'll be able to hear me. Vision, right? Let's hope that we connected with a little bit of vision. I know you played this visionary song when you were putting this into a commercial space, advertising this event. I thought it was quite cute little visionary song. I don't know if I'm a visionary, but I certainly have a vision. But before we even jump into this, deep topic of crisis and makes me very happy that you all are here, but it also makes me sad because it means this is real, that collaboration crisis is real. I don't want you to sit all the time, but I would like you to sort of warm up. It's so early in the morning, and I'd like you to all stand up for a second. I promise you it won't be too much of movement. This is not a workshop, also, although I love workshops. They fix all the problems in the world. And we're gonna play this little game of sit down. Have you ever played the game of sit down? Yeah? Okay, great. Everyone knows the rules. So if I say something that matches your statement, my statement, you sit down. It helps us to get to know each other. So look around. Maybe there's people similar to you. Maybe there is other people that you have something in common with. And since we have this wonderful WhatsApp group that I totally recommend you join, what would be a collaboration, creativity without community, right? So, or you're like me and you are struggling here this morning because you're actually an evening owl. It's called a night owl, but I am an evening owl. Is any what do you call it? Yeah, night owls here. Anyone? Yes. Team Night Owl, great. I thought I'm here alone for a second, there is this night owl, the early, and there is the middle bird. There is so many different theories. Okay, all right. So now you can see there's more of you. We are together. Let's sit down if you're celebrating something today. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, Ida. If it's, yay! Are you celebrating something today? It could be anniversary, it could be a birthday. Yeah, someone else up there? What are you celebrating? No, you just want to sit.
It's Friday.
It's Friday. Exactly. Okay, sit down if you came here to Stockholm from somewhere else, somewhere outside. Oh my God, we have visitors. Where did you come from? Outside? Did you move? No, not if you moved. If you came here from another city. People are getting up. Anyone?
We are living close to Strängnäs, but we just moved here from Germany.
Germany, yeah. I saw your face. It's Berlin, right? Wasn't it? Oh, Berlin, so cool. Okay. I want you to sit down if you speak like me. I don't know if you know, I'm Polish. Is anyone here speaks Polish? Yeah. You get up. You can sit. Yeah, okay. And if you speak Japanese too, double points. And if your name is also Beata, triple points. And it's all correct. Okay. Sit down we're going to do it quickly now. I know you're getting a little bit bored. Sit down if you're a team tea. Anyone who drinks tea and hates coffee. Okay? You can be in the middle. Sit down if you're a designer, because everyone thinks that creatives are only designers. It's not true. We are all creatives here in the room, right? All designers sat down. Great. I mean, designers are creative too, but we all can be. Okay, and if you drink coffee in the morning and you had it this morning, sit down. And I hope that makes the rest of you. Okay, great. I'm going on the third one now, so if I start shaking halfway through, you know what's happening. Okay, now I like to always check in with myself, with my feelings, with my emotions, with those around me, whether I'm doing a workshop or whether I'm coming here. And I thought I'm really excited. That was my check-in. But I'm touching microphone, sorry, buddy. And I want you to discuss this with the person next to you for 2 to 3 minutes, just to kind of get to know someone next to you. I know how how it is to be up there with when you drink coffee. You're coming here to make real connections. And think about it first for yourself. What is your creative super skill? What are your expectations for this morning that maybe I will fulfill, or maybe someone next to you will be able to fulfill that? I know that United Spaces covered the coffee part, right? That's a tasty thing. What do I need from the group? Is there something you need from the group? Maybe the person next to you can help you with something. What do you bring to the group? What do you bring to the group? And I give you a little shortcut. This is mine. So my creative super skill is visualization. And my expectations for this morning were laughter and good coffee. And like I said, that's already covered. What do I need from you is to be open-minded. You know, I'm going to share my own experiences, and I hope that you enjoy that. And what do I bring to the group? Energy and a couple of slides. Because what would be a what would be a talk without a couple of slides, right, Sandra? Exactly. Okay, great. So now 2-3 minutes. Talk to someone next to you, preferably not the person that you came here with, to just sort of open that horizon a little bit. Go ahead. Okay. All right. Good. We're done. We're done. So interesting. Oh my God. So many new connections. Wow. I really hope this is going to take you to the next level. I hope. Thank you. I thought I have a loud voice. Yeah. The classic raise your hand. I really don't like doing it, but it is signaling to everyone that you know it's end of the exercise. I hope these topics, for those of you who maybe are a little bit not so savvy networking or whatever, like these questions can always open a lot of doors for you. And if you do need something from the group or you bring from the group, I totally recommend WhatsApp community because there it's so many cool people that you can meet and they can help you. All right. Okay, but who am I? Who is this person making us get up and talk to strangers? I am, as you can see, I'm a coach, facilitator, and team builder, as I like to call it. I'm also a proud parent. Don't misunderstand it with parent. I have a little fluffy dog that looks just like me but has a white aura. I am happily in love, as you say, right? I have a wonderful partner. And also, I am a sister and a daughter. That's what I identify as. I came to you from Stockholm, but before I lived in London for around 10 years, same in Stockholm, 10 years. My friends laughed that that maybe every 10 years I move somewhere, but no, my dog really likes it here. It's cold and he's fluffy. He's like, I ain't going to Spain or Italy. We're staying here. So, and I'm originally from Krakow. If you've ever been in Krakow, has anyone been there before? Yeah, great. Then you know it's a beautiful city, full of exciting things to do. And you know, 20 years ago, I thought it's a great idea to move to London. London being this super nice, diverse town with so many opportunities and millions of people to collaborate. Actually, 9 million people to collaborate with. So the entire Sweden is there. I thought, okay, why not try London? Not going to bore you with details, but I was very fortunate to land a job in tech. And think about it. 2008, around that time, tech is a big thing. The first iPhone comes out, right? The first mobile application comes out. And I had the chance to be one of the first people to be able to test them and write automation tests for it and things like that. All these things that are very, very logical, which I discovered later. It's not really my strength. So during that time, I was able to meet a lot of amazing people. Wait, let me just escape that. Yeah, all right. Now, spoiler alert. There you go. Yeah. During that time, I was working with a lot of people and really big companies, but also amazing startups, scale-ups, and things like that. In one of them, I met my best buddy, Steve. And remember name Steve, easy to remember, and he's important in my life story, and I'm important in his life story. Why is Steve important? Steve was the person that always was indirect mentor to me. Not no one told him, I selected him. He knew everything and I wanted to know what he knows. So he always, I would always come to him and say, Steve, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I write code? How do I, not fall asleep on my desk while I'm doing it? And Steve was always super patient with me and taught me everything that I needed. But one day, he said to me, Beata, we have a lot of issues here in the company. And we have better developers and testers around. Why don't you, a startup, why don't you try to kind of build up on your strengths, to follow what you're really good at? And what he told me I'm really good at is I'm good with people. And I'm really good at gathering people, helping them to collaborate, all these things that I ended up doing later, and I'm doing it still now, sort of 15 years later. Now, that company at the time had a lot of issues. And which company doesn't have issues? I mean, you all here because you've seen it, you've been in some organizations, you've been in a team, you've been somewhere where you've seen a lot of things that are maybe a little bit negative. And that's absolutely normal. You're not there by yourself. I've been in many really big companies, small companies. I covered pretty many of these really big dinosaurs in Sweden. And there is a sort of a red thread, the thing that I see in all the companies. And tell me if you see it too. Do you see any of this where you are or where you've been? It can be a community, it can be a government, it can be a creative agency, it can be a dinosaur company, a startup. Have you seen any of these? Yes. Yes. Micromanagement at the top, my favorite. Micromanagement. Who has never been micromanaged? I had. Oh, there you go. We have one. Micromanagement. Silent quitting, right? I'm only here for the money. I had enough. I tried it. I gave it all. They are not listening to me. I'm just going to sit here and check in and sort of slowly deteriorate in my role. Burnout and bore out right next to each other. Many of us have been there. Negativity, like I said. Gossip, my favorite. Gossip kills hundreds of companies and hundreds of relationships every single day. It's I think it's something we humans do really well because we are really good at storytelling, but we're also good at storytelling about other people in a negative way. We have tons of bias, and I'm not saying you, of course, you're different, you're amazing. But I know I have a lot of this, and I have been in companies where unclear roles or responsibilities destroyed the positions, the places. People would step on each other's toes, right? They would be like, no, I'm doing it, I've done that. Yeah, okay, now we don't do that. What do we do? Oh, I'm higher in rank. We take that idea, right? Cliques. I've been in one company where we've had a lot of people coming from a really cool startup. And they all defaulted to each other. They all started to say, yeah, we've worked together before. Why don't we belong together? Why don't we stick with each other? And these other people, we can bring more of our people here. And of course, that destroys companies. Cliques like culture cliques. Has anyone ever seen lunches where it's only one group of people sitting together, not going to name, and they speak specific language and no one else can enter? They're not welcomed because, here we speak whatever. Different type of cliques are created depending on different type of environments we are. And tears. I know I cried at work many times. Sometimes they were happy tears and a lot of times they were not. I've seen and cheered people up in the bathrooms, when they're crying because it's crisis. And one that we talk a lot about in different communities, the groupthink, right? Great definition of groupthink. Have you ever been in this situation where you're sitting there, you want to share something, but you just can't? Your job is on the line. Maybe you don't feel psychologically safe, but sometimes you don't really feel like you belong and someone else is going to make the decision for you. not you, of course, but in other companies. Or have you ever been in a meeting where one or two people are talking all the time, projecting, and at the end they say, so if you have any feedback, you can message me directly. I've worked with the manager recently, high manager in a large company, and he said, hi, how are you? You having a good day? Okay. Do you need any help with this? Okay, then message me directly. I'm always open for new opportunities. Okay, bye. I'm so busy now. Bye. See you later. It's very, very, sad is what I can say. It's sad because we humans know how to collaborate. We just default to these behaviors. Now, layoffs are another funny thing. Has anyone seen this website? I think it's hilarious. It's called Layoffs FYI, okay? And many newspapers, especially in US, you've seen it?
No, I have a question. I don't know if it's the right time or later.
We can take questions at the end. Yeah, maybe I answer your question as we flow. Many newspapers and many, this is a screenshot from yesterday. Does that answer your question? Many companies, many newspapers, they all use this page to as a data point. And I think it's a little bit tragic, but that someone is tracking it. That's how bad we are. And somewhere down the line, it's Stockholm. Yeah, it's not just U.S. cities, just so you know. So it's there. Now, has anyone seen this recently? Yeah? Sonos, a big thing. Sonos, amazing company with making music sounds, whatever. You know what Sonos makes. And Sonos had a really, really big problem. They sent an update around May of their application, and users just can't use it. They can't do anything. And the internet went crazy. If you go to Reddit and you search for Sonos, it doesn't come out with anything positive. News, like the sound of failure at Sonos, like so creative, like the sound of failure. Why is Sonos app so broken? And furthermore, there has been layoffs in that company because at first they thought it's the engineer's fault, right? But no, it is actually recently, maybe it's the leadership. So let's cut their bonuses. Whose fault is it? Then, of course, it was a huge technical debt that hasn't been covered. Now, why am I saying to this? You think you're in a company, there is Sonos, but if you take yourself from a helicopter perspective, the world is a little bit bigger place, and sometimes there are polar bears there. And sometimes these polar bears are struggling because we, governments, communities, societies, are constantly in meetings, and we can't decide. We have conflicts, and the polar bears are waiting. They're waiting for the meeting to end and decision to be concluded. Another example, fires. They're coming everywhere. This is LA, and something near to my heart, which is the recent floods in south of Poland. And in this situation, the government is like, who broke the dam? Why is the dam broken? Who's going to fix it? And it's just chaos. And these meetings, or not workshops, these meetings are there, people can't conclude things. So it's not just you, me, not you, not just us. There is bigger problem out there, not to mention the polarization with who votes for who in the US, etc. And the wars, not to mention the conflicts in the world that are happening right now. Now, how do we overcome all these dysfunctions? There is so many of them, right? We human beings are really good at spotting them. How do we just brush it off our shoulders like Shaq? I think one of the things, I'm going to share with you what I choose to do. And one of the things I chose to do is to create myself a little vision. And the vision for me is change the world one team at a time. Because, I don't know about you, but the only thing I can control is myself, right? The only thing I can control is myself and also how I respond to others. That one is quite good. I can only control how what I can do. So my little vision in life is what is keeping me up at night. Is how do I solve this? How do I help people in the world? Because if I help teams, communities, you can call it, any group is a team for me. You can be CEO with CTO, you're also a team for me, leadership groups. It all starts with you. And if you don't know yourself well, who else will? So remember my buddy Steve, told you he's important. He gave me this valuable feedback, like I said. And it was very, I was very open to feedback. So he didn't touch any of these, if you know, scarf model. He didn't press any of these buttons on me, which is like, he didn't attack me in a certain way. He didn't try to challenge my status. I trusted him, and he gave me the feedback at the right time, which I think is very important. And oftentimes we forget how important it is to give people feedback at the right time, right state. And what I've learned later from Marshall Goldsmith, anyone knows who Marshall Goldsmith is? A fucking great guy. Check him out. Marshall Goldsmith came up with this idea. Check out his website. He's been active for, I don't know, 80 years or something. Now you can even, he's so modern. Everything he does is for free. He created like an AI thing that you can chat with him now. So I think he's going to live forever, and you can learn from him forever. He's fantastic. So he came up with this concept, feed forward. And unlike feedback that focuses on the past and usually negativity, it's focusing on going forward. So it's focusing on future. And future is that I would like you to focus on. Now we do a little exercise, which I think would help you to practice a little bit, because this is a safe space. And Marshall Goldsmith came up with this. I'm going to I'll let you read it while you are practicing with others. What I want us to do is to pair up with someone. I think we only have time today to pair up with one person. Ideally, you would, switch and mingle around. You can do this afterwards after the meetup. Marshall Goldsmith came up with this idea that we focus on the future. We ask for what we want to be better at. We ask what we want to improve. And many people, all of us have done this since we were little kids. Mama, what do I do? Yeah, Papa, what do I do? Like naturally, we are wired to ask for advice. And so first what you're going to do, you're going to pair up with this person and you ask them about something you want to improve. I want to get better at. I want to get better at listening. I want to get better at facilitation. I want to get better at design. I want to get better at photography. You don't have to, you're amazing. And after that, you listen carefully and you listen to understand, not listen to respond, as we humans often do, right? Then you say thank you, and then you switch roles, okay? So I want you to think for a second. We do this also for 2 minutes because, time constraints. Think for a moment if there is something that the world needs you to improve, that the world needs you to change, and there's something that you're already working on. You got it? Now, go to the person next to you, and that's the 2 minutes, and ask them, I want to improve at this. This person will give you 2 quick suggestions. You don't judge, they don't judge, and then we switch roles. Okay? All right, go. Time good? I don't know, but I can go fast. I can go quite fast.
But I can, 5 minutes easy and then Q&A 5 minutes.
10.
Yeah, 10 minutes. And then Q&A, we can do it, and if people have to leave, they leave. If those who can stay, they stay for the Q&A.
I forgot I have this.
Yes.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Are you watching? You're amazing. Don't forget to switch roles. Switch roles. No, Papa? Oh, we can talk after. Okay, all right. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, we're done. We're done. We will continue afterwards. There is so much we want to improve, right? There is so much. Thanks, there. Let's do it. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's another level. Fantastic. Thank you. Okay, I would love to hear what you want to get better at. I certainly want to get better at, many things, and just continue this afterwards. Continue this with your friends, with your partners, with your teams. I really recommend. This is a very positive way of impacting you. Now, very curious about what you discovered. What you just did is there is this model invented by Joe and Harry, right? It's hilarious. These guys are awesome. Like, what? We're going to come up with this concept? What are we going to call it? My name is Joe. My name is Harry. It's Joe Harry. Okay, fantastic. They already won me at the name. What you just did, you moved from the what's known to yourself and known to others to not known to you. So you just learned something that no one else, not even ChatGPT, would be able to tell you, although it's trying. You opened the blind spot. You were able to get feedback. You can get feedback also. You can ask for feedback. I'm not against feedback. I just think it's great to look ahead. And you moved from the open area to the blind area, which is a really great way to sort of find out about yourself. Now, if you go from open area to hidden area in this concept, it's more like when you choose not to tell someone something. And it's not for like malicious reasons, mainly because you try to build boundaries and some things maybe we shouldn't share, like oversharing, those parts, yeah? It's right in that bucket. So if you're an oversharer, think about what you're oversharing, right? It's a really way to map it. You can do this by yourself. You can do this with your team. You can do this with your community. You can do this with anybody. You can form it as a retrospective with the team. It's a fantastic tool. Maybe you have some unknown areas. You don't know what you don't know, right? So that's one of the things that I did when I started to sort of map of who I want to be, what are my strengths, and so on. But now I have a bunch of things because time is, of essence here. And how I approach situation every time, every day, me individually, and how I work with teams and groups and whatnot, is I start by building trust. And I build that trust by sharing vulnerability. You don't need to be Bernie Brown to know about vulnerability. You've done this before. Things that you share that are so close to you every day. Be honest with others, how you're feeling, and it's really going to open the doors. And do this from day one. And if you haven't and you work with a team or community, maybe come to them and say, I'm actually really nervous today, like, I don't know how to handle it. And then they will tell you, don't worry, I have an iPhone here. We're gonna fix your Wi-Fi, right? Second thing that I really like to do is to build on each other's strengths. When we compose teams, when we build teams, communities, groups, whatever, companies, it's really good to think of strengths that we have and how we complement each other. And you can do this by talking to each other about what you're good at, and everyone likes a good brag, what am I good at, what are you good at? But you can also do various things like strength finders and whatnot. And these are really good conversation starters when you do it together as a group. Even if you do it as a freelancer solo worker, and you can talk with your clients. Now, make sure you make a bond on belonging cues. I really love that one. It's we humans tend to spot people that are similar to us, but we also have certain way that we feel about others. And find these cues, find these in other people and connect with them. So make a bond on those. And one of my favorites, believe the best in people. Unconditional positive regard. It will take you far. It will take you everywhere. Every time you go to your other colleague or you text your, a partner or your sister, it's like, oh my God, work sucks today. I don't know this guy. I can't take it. Think of it. Maybe he's actually having a bad day. Maybe something happened before. There is a small percentage of people that are here to harm you. Usually, unconditional positive regard will take you far. And then use a little bit of deliberate play or gamification, very similar to each other. Apply elements of fun, of learning, of being a child again. And gamification has a lot of badges and things like that. You don't need to focus on that. Deliberate play is a little bit lightweight. I've done it many times. I have even a talk about it, about how I gamified the team, because they didn't want to, they didn't have time for building, for team building. So I made them a game, and they loved it, and it worked out really well. So you need to find these people in the team and the groups that you start this with, and it can take you far. This is a small percentage of what I start with, but it's definitely my favorite things that I'd like to do. Now, one more thing that I personally benefited from is Culture Map. Culture Map tells me that me, being from Poland, being extremely direct to people, it's maybe not such a good thing when I worked in the UK. Because I'm somewhere there around, Italy, Spain, love these two countries. I'm somewhere there, and I didn't know that I'm very confrontational. I'm very direct, until Erin told me so in her book. Totally recommend. You can see that the conflicts you have with different cultures, with people, or maybe just something that is avoidable, because you can learn about them. Some cultures you can't give feedback in public. Some demand you to give feedback in public. Some cultures want you to be direct, some not. You can see confrontational, and some are emotionally expressive. Why do we have Italy and Brazil at the top there? And emotionally unexpressive, Stockholm. Nothing wrong with it. It's just the way we are. Now, the other thing, I'm not going to get into details. If I was to recommend you one book, it's definitely this one. Because, again, Margaret tells us all about the group thing and docility of our walk of life. This book will help you to understand why there is wars in the world, and they could have been prevented, but we've ignored it, because we humans are really good at ignoring it. When Putin attacked Ukraine, everyone could see it coming. Nobody could see it coming. Really? Everyone could see it coming. Margaret explains us what are we missing and why are we missing it. A really good read, and it's a little bit under the radar. This book is not so talked about, but I think it should be. Now, to sum up, the world is not that bad, okay? We humans are really good at collaborating. It comes natural to us. With a little bit of self-organizing, with a little bit of helping each other out. This picture is actually people in Wrocław, outside in Poland, during the flood, helping out. They are not waiting for government. They are helping the government. There is actually firefighters ahead there, somewhere. You can't see them, because they are helping out the firefighters up there. They are helping the leadership. They are helping the government. They are helping each other. So if there is one thing that I want you to remember, is that you can do better. You can help each other out. You can be like these guys there, these folks. You can totally help each other out and self-organize, because we are naturally wired to do that. So, I hope I inspired you with the latest this vision that came up here in Creative Mornings, to answer these two fundamental questions that the organizers are asking us. How do you see the world, and how do you want to change it? Thank you very much.